Yo, what's good? It's the boy Reviews. And in case you haven't seen the Attack on Titan anime, then heavy spoilers, you have been warned. With the anime over, I decided to rank all the characters in the entire anime. So without further ado, let's start off with Porco. Porco, I don't really like this character if I'm being honest. He had an emotional moment with his brother when he made contact with Reiner, but he's kind of an annoying character to Reiner. I like how he was proven wrong when the Island Devils came and absolutely embarrassed the dude. So I'm going to put Porco at E. Next up, Best Boy Falco. I'm going to put this character at A. He's a pretty solid character. I like how, despite him and Gabby living in the same area, he's open-minded. He is aware that Marley's full of crap, and I like how he's able to be there for Gabby despite Gabby not really deserving it. And Best Boy Falco is his brother. I'm going to put Colt at C. We don't know too much about him. We just know that he cares for Falco, and I wish we got some more with him because he should have had the Beast Titan after Zeke. But I did appreciate his sacrifice. Gung Ho Gabby gets an S tier for me. One of the best written female characters. I know people don't like her because she killed Sasha, yes we know, but you have to see it from her perspective. Strangers came to her hometown, blew it up, now she's gonna get revenge. Next up we got Annie Leonhardt. I'm gonna put Annie at B. I do like Annie, but Annie kind of seems like a different character by the final season. Season 1 she's so dark and mysterious, but then in the final season she's very not like how she used to be, but it makes sense. The story changed. We know the truth about her and everyone, so it does make sense. Next up we have Udo. I'm gonna put Udo at D. I call him the rotoscoped boy because he had that one rotoscoped animation that people didn't like. He and Zofia should sort of belong in the same category in my opinion. They kind of fit together. Next up, Bertolt. I'm going to put Bertolt at B. B for Bertolt. I did like how he was able to grow and be more brave towards the latter half, and he had to do what he had to do in Shinganshina. Next up, Marcel. I'm gonna put Marcel at C. He was a real one, dude. Like, he protected Reiner, he sacrificed himself for Reiner, and just a good boy. Next up, Eren Kruger. I'm gonna put Eren Kruger at B. I wish we got more of this dude. He's such a fascinating dude. How did he get the Attack Titan? When did he get the Attack Titan? We needed those answers, but we didn't get that. A lot of reveal of him telling Grisha to protect Mikasa and Armin. Next up, we've got this piece of mud, gross, disgusting dude. But you know what? I'm going to put him at E because that one conversation he had with Grisha about how human beings love cruelty. Very true to reality, mate. Next up, Zachary. I'm going to put Zachary at D. I do appreciate how he supported the scouts and was able to help them get to where they are now, but the whole chair was a bit weird. Next up, Historia Rice goes way up at S tier. Historia Rice is one of my favorite female characters, from being shy and timid to having a lot of gusto. Next up, we have what appears to be her father, Rod Rice. I'm going to put him at F. I think he's a garbage character. He used Historia, didn't really care for her, was a bit of a coward in the end, and his entire family should just go at F. I don't have much to say about this family. They're all very meh, except for Frida. Frida gets a C because I do feel like she was the only one who cared for Historia. Not even her own mom cared for her. Next up, Yuri. I'm going to put Yuri at C. I really like the character. He predicted the ending. He said to Kenny, in the near future the world will fall, and before that happens he wants to create paradise, but he wasn't able to. Just wanted more of him, but it is what it is. Rod Rice's father gets an F, whatever. Fina, I think that was her name, Willie Tiber's daughter. I'll put her at F, don't have much to say about her. Same with Lara Tiber, but I like her Titan. Willie Tiber will shoot up to a C. Very impressive speech, dude. It was a very iconic episode as well. Lady Kiyomi, I'll put her at a D. I did like her talk with Annie in the final episode about how, why is it when things go wrong for everyone is when we know what truly matters in the end, when the rumbling was destroying her homeland and the entire world. Next up, we got the mayor of Stohest. I'll put him at E. I like his character design, but he wasn't really doing a whole lot. He just had a really cool dub voice. This dude from season 3 part 1, I'll put him at F. I don't have much to say about him. Jean Boy's mom, I'll put her at E. Mr. Browse, I'm going to put him at S, just because of his speech to Gabby. We need to get the children out of the forest. We need to get them out, and he should regret. The only dude that makes sense, and he's an adult. The only adult that makes sense. Kaya, put her at C. I love her talk with Gabby and trying to make her see sense. Connie's mom Titan, I'm going to put her at F. Didn't have anything to do. Nice Titan design, but it is what it is. Fate King, I'm going to put him at E. I was a bit disappointed by this character. I thought he was going to play more of a role, but yeah, he was the Fate King. It is what it is. He had had a cool design as well. I love the rim lighting on this character. This dude on the poop chair, yeah, he's at F. Fleago, I'll put Fleago at D. He was pretty impressive and I loved his loyalty and bravery to the scouts, but he just vanished. Same with this news reporter. I like how he convinced his older news reporter buddy to print out the truth. Niccolo, I'm going to put him at C. A Malian who fell in love with an Eldian. I love how you've truly cared for Sasha. Sasha's mom gets an E. This lady from the first episode gets an E. Pastor Nick, I'll put him at D. I do appreciate how he was able to reveal some secrets of the wolves despite him putting his life on the line. This Titan gets an F. These kids get an F. I remember this guy, it was the dude who was talking to Reiner and Bertel about abandoning the kids and then wanting to be judged. I'll put him at E. Historia's mom gets a big fat F. Don't like her. She never cared for Historia. Grisha, I put him at S tier. Fascinating character. I thought he was going to be one of the main villains, but he ended up being a victim of not only the world and society, but his own son. My gosh. Carla, I'm going to put her at B. Didn't get a whole lot with her, but her being who she is played a huge role in Eren's life and his choices. Mikasa's mom, I put her at D. She protected Mikasa to the very end and was a loyal mom. While the dad, I'll put him at F. I don't have much to say about him. Levi's mom gets an F. Kenny's grandfather gets an F. Owen's father at D. I do wish we got more to do with this dude. I wish we got more scenes with him. He seemed like a fascinating dude, very intelligent man. Zeke's grandparents get E from me. I do appreciate his grandfather admitting his regret over what happened to his daughter. Reiner's dad, on the other hand, gets an F. Reiner's mom, on the other hand, gets an E. I liked her redemption at the end, her showing regret towards Reiner. Oh, Ymir, by the way, she gets an S tier. What a fascinating character. I loved Ymir, the original Freckles Ymir. She was such a well-written, really feisty, strong, independent character, fighting for what she wanted to do and all that jazz. The Smiling Titan, I put her at an E. Cool design, but the character herself was meh. Colt and Falco's uncle gets an E. It was emotional seeing him break down and blame Grisha for everything that happened. Faye gets a D. I felt so bad for what happened to this girl. Zeke Yeager, I'll put him at A. I didn't like him to begin with. He seemed like a ruthless killer, but towards the end you grow to love him. You do. You really do. Yelena, I didn't like her, to be honest with you. She was creepy to begin with and creepy to end with. Onyankopon, by the way, he gets a big fat A. He was a true friend. He's an underrated character, mate. Even though he wasn't an Eldian, he still wanted to help out. Sonny and Bean get an F, but the man, the myth, the legend himself, Eren Yeager, he's here. There's no question, dude. He's obviously S tier. I've talked to death about this guy. Well-written dude. Armin Arlet, I think I'm going to put Armin at a... For what he did in the finale, I put him at an S. He's a great guy. He led the scouts to victory in the end. I love Hanji. I loved her more in the first 3 seasons. She was so kooky and wild, but in the final season, she was more serious, but she had to be serious. I put her ahead of Papa Browse. Next up, we have got Jean Boy. I thought he was a bit of a bully in the first season, but he grew as a dude. I felt like he was the only dude that got a lot of development, so I put him at an S tier. Connie as well was a big surprise. I didn't expect him to get that much development. The scenes of him having to betray Samuel and Daz was heartbreaking to watch. He goes at S tier. Levi Ackerman, he will go all the way just behind Historia. Yeah, what can I say? He's the dude. I just love the guy. He's so cool. He's so badass. Louise, very creepy girl, like sniffing Mikasa's scarf and all that. I felt bad that Mikasa abandoned her in the end. Samuel, I'll put him at an E. Just not much about him, you know. I felt bad. Even Daz as well. Like, they belong in E. But King Flock, oh, King Flock, where do we want to put him? We will put King Flock, yeah, I think I'll put him right just above Levi. I think, big surprise. Yeah, no, people don't like him, but I do appreciate his resolve in the end. He was very committed to the cause, and I just wasn't expecting him to be as wild as he was in the final season. These guys just get an F. I don't really know them a whole lot. Sasha, the potato girl, oh, she gets a high S. I've always loved Sasha, mate. I've always loved her, mate. She's just magnificent, mate. This guy that was shot by Gabby, I'll put him at D. I do appreciate that he hesitated, didn't want to kill Gabby at first, but he had to do that. Mr. Owen Smith, I think I'm going to put him above Eren. This guy is without a doubt the best character in the whole show. He is the best written. There's no doubt about it. Like, I'd follow him anywhere, everywhere, all at once. That came out wrong. Or did it? Next up, we've got Marlowe. I'll put him at a B. He was a pretty cool character. I liked how he saw how corrupt the military police were. I'm gonna put these characters at E. I don't really remember them that well. Next up, we got this dude from season 1. I think this was Dieter's friend. I remember Dieter because I think Dieter was the one that was telling Levi and Irvin that they're monsters for abandoning their friends who died. But then Levi was able to comfort him and say, hey, I got your friend's patch, and he started to cry. He had some of the most gigantic tears as he was crying in that one season. My gosh. I think these two characters were Erwin and Hanji's friends at the end of season 3 part 1. Moblet, oh, this dude goes at A. This dude, true friend. What an absolute lad he was. What a right mate, protecting Hanji at the very end. What a great man. Nifa, I'm gonna put Nifa at C. I felt bad for Nifa. I wanted more of Nifa. She had a cool haircut, dude. Nanaba, oh, Nanaba, I'll put Nanaba at a high B. I loved Nanaba so much. Her death was so sad and really haunting. Michi, I'm going to put him at a high B as well. Second to Captain Levi. I'm going to put this dude from Squad Levi at, I'm going to put him at a C. I hated how he kept biting his tongue. The guy got annoying. Petra, I'm going to put her at a B. I thought she was sweet and cool, but same with these two. These two, I'm going to put them at D. I was just very meh when it came to these two characters. Next up, we got Furlon and Isabella. I'm going to put Furlon at C. He reminded me so much of Colt. Furlon is what Colt would have looked like if Wit Studio had continued Attack on Titan with that design. And then we have this wonderful Isabella. I'm gonna put her at a high B. I loved her. You know, the more I think about it, Furlon and Isabella reminds me so much of Falco and Gabi. Maybe that's why Levi hangs out with them in the end. Next up, we've got this dude who hated Levi in the OVA. I'm gonna put him at an F. Ah, my lovely Hitch. I'm gonna put her at a B. She didn't really have a whole lot to do in the final season. Would have been cool if we got more of her, but it is what it is. Kenny! I'll put him at a high A. High A. I really like this character a lot, and he said a really cool quote, a powerful quote that we're all slaves to something. Kenny's right hand lass. I'm gonna put her a high A actually. I really liked her. I loved how committed she was to the cause and dedicated she was to Kenny. Niall, I'm gonna put Niall at an A as well. He was a bit of a villain in the first season, but I understood why he was so mad at Irvin. In fact, I was kind of mad at Irvin when you rewatch season 1. Him protecting Falco and saving him in the end, that was really nice of him. Pixis, I'm gonna put him at an A as well. I really like this guy. I love the character. He was the dude who pretty much believed in Eren and the crew to begin with. Before Irvin, we had Pixis, and a shame we didn't have too much of him in the final season. This guy, don't really remember him, but I love her so much. Love her. Pixis' right hand lass. I'm gonna put her at a B, just behind Petra. Oh, we got this commander dude. My gosh. Put him at F. I didn't like him. I thought he was annoying. But Rico, oh my gosh, Rico. I'm gonna put her at a high B. I wanted more of Rico. She should have been in season 3 more. I wish we got more of her, mate. This dude who was in the middle half of season 3 part 1, I'm gonna put him at E. He just, put him at F, to be honest. I just had nothing positive to say about him. But my boy Harness, S tier. I loved how he protected Mikasa and Eren in the end. What a phenomenal guy, mate. Phenomenal. Captain Ian gets a high A from me. I loved how he believed in Mikasa and he was sacrificing himself just to get Eren to put the boulder in. This guy was Ian's buddy, Commander Shadis, a high A. He felt like a bystander, but in the end, he made a big difference. Oh my gosh. I felt so bad for her boyfriend, but we didn't get a whole lot of her. Did she even die? Is she alive? What happened to her? Marco, you got a high B. You got a high B, mate. He was sort of Jean's rock. He convinced Jean to be a scout in the end and to do the right thing. The boyfriend, I felt bad for him. I put him at a D. Nina, I'm gonna put her at a B. I thought she had a thing for Eren in season 1, but that must have been my imagination. Next up, we've got these two guys who were part of Nina's group. Why am I saying Nina? Her name is Mina? I think. Thomas, we didn't get a whole lot of him, but it is what it is. Magif, I'm gonna put Magif at a high C. I didn't really like him to begin with, but he grew on me. I did think he didn't believe in the whole Marley propaganda and he saw through Marley's lies, but this fat pig, he belongs at F. I don't like him. This guy had a cool design and I liked how he accepted his fate when Eren was dive bombing on the crowd. Reiner Brown, he gets a high S tier, but where does he rank? Just behind Eren, mate. I think Eren was more fascinating, but Reiner, really good character, like really cool character. You feel bad for him. He was a villain, then he became a victim, and he became a hero in the end. peak greatness, she gets I'll put her at a high S, but where do I rank her? I think peak will be right behind Ymir. And finally, Mikasa. Mikasa just behind Harness. I think she's a high S tier, but not as good as these other guys. The founder Ymir and the first King Fritz aren't on this list for some reason. I don't think the person making the tier list remembered to put those two characters here, but I'll put the founder Ymir at a B, and I'll put King Fritz at an F. I hate that character. He's the worst character, scumbag. Ymir didn't really have a whole lot to say, but she truly was the beginning of the story in a way, and all she wanted to do was see if a girl similar to her, aka Mikasa Ackerman, would be strong enough to disobey the person she loves. Now looking at all these characters that I've ranked, I'm going to do some slight alterations. I think after further consideration, I'm going to put Historia a little ahead of Gabi, and I'm going to put Levi ahead of Sasha, and I'll put Hanji ahead of Sasha as well. I think this is a good list. I'm going to put Ymir there. So these guys, these are my top 10. Ymir, I loved Ymir. I found her to be a really strong, well-written female character. I just wish we got more of her, but the scenes we had of her, phenomenal. Flock, he went from this background guy to just being an absolute menace in the final season. Yes, he was quote-unquote a villain, but I really liked the way he was written. Sasha Browse was the heart of this whole squad. Like, my gosh, when Sasha died, it felt like a piece of the show died as well when she died. She just was the light, the heart and soul. Hanji Zoe, she's kind of similar to Sasha in a way. She was also quite kooky and strange like Sasha. Are they related? Who knows, but I loved how she had to step up and be commander and do what she had to do. Levi, it's Levi, enough said. Gabi, kind of the polar opposite to Eren Yeager on the Marley side, but I like how her hate turned into understanding and she felt bad for what she did. Historia Rice, she is my favorite female character in the entire show. That's why she's like the highest out of all the female characters. I just wanted more of her in the final season. She was so good in season 3 part 1, so good with her just saying no to Rod Rice and whipping that injection needle away. Like, what a gal she is. Rainer Brown, from villain to victim to hero. This man, Rainer Brown, what a man you are. And I love your tie-in. Eren Yeager, hero to villain. My gosh, the dark side of Eren in the final season. He was spooky. I will admit, I did prefer Eren in seasons 1 to 3. I did like his tenacity, his never gonna give up attitude, those bright sparkly green eyes. But Commander Irvin deserves to be at first place because he is such a really smart, really well written character, a really true leader. I could just praise this guy to death. When he died, it felt like a bit of Attack on Titan died with him, mate, if I'm being honest. But the show continued and it had a phenomenal ending. These other characters were good, but they just weren't as good as these top 10, mate. They just weren't as good. But it is what it is. This is my list. Tell me in the comments down below if you agree with me or not. I want to know what your lists are. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy did a review signing out.